Well, hello once again. A little bit later in the afternoon than I had planned to be doing this, but we're getting in. Uh, Oakland and Detroit, game number 160, and it's the next to last game in the May 2nd date of 1987. The final game will be in Seattle, be Milwaukee against Seattle. Good pitching matchup in that one, Juan Nieves against Mark Langston. But this game is game 160 from the Oakland Coliseum. Tony La Russa, Sparky Anderson, two of the top managers arguably of all time, going to be battling wits. For Oakland, the ballpark is not very conducive to hitting. Hello, Ernest. Singles are 1-3 and home runs are 1-5, so it's definitely going to favor the pitchers. Kurt Young enters the game 2-1, and Tanana enters the game 0-2. Young has a -3 hold, and Tanana has a -2 hold when combined with the catcher. Oakland enters the game 16-8, first place in the American League West. Detroit 10-12, near the bottom of the American League East, but there is a long way to go. So with the lefty on the mound, Detroit has gone to a heavy right-handed lineup. Mike Heath is playing first base in this one. Harper's in left and Herndon's the DH. So there is no Darrell Evans for sure in this one. There is no Matt Noakes. So those two lefties are on the bench. For Oakland, same situation. Ron Cey is going to play first base. Mark McGwire is going to play third base. And so and Carney Lancer is going to DH. So they are maneuvering some of their guys around as well. There is no Luis Polonia for the A's. He's on the bench. So is Mike Davis. A couple of their good left-handed hitters are on the bench. All right, let's get this puppy rolling. As we get to the statistics totally for Kurt Young, he's 2-1 with a 2.27 earned run average, 32 innings pitched, 25 hits, 5 walks, and 18 strikeouts. He has given up 6 home runs in 32 innings, so the gopher ball can be a little bit troublesome for Kurt Young. And actually, it will be a lefty that starts things out for Detroit, Pat Sheridan. And Sheridan comes into the game hitting .232, 2 homers and 4 driven in. And we're underway here from the Oakland Coliseum. 4-10. That's going to be a ground ball third base. That's a smart McGwire. Boy, he could put over to third base and gets tested right away. A 4.37. Not exactly Brooks Robinson over there. 4.37. See if he can even get to it. 4-18. He does get to it, but the E37 certainly is going to be a problem. E37, he's got to avoid 9, 11, 12, 15, 16, and 17. So he really needs a low number here. That's a 9, so he does not avoid it. E37 and a 9 is a one-base error on Mark McGwire. So they pay the price for putting McGwire at third base instead of first base. They could have DH McGwire and put Lansford at third, but this is what La Russa is doing. He's trying to see if McGwire can play third base. Of course, that will be a failed experiment. But he's a rookie year, so they didn't know what he could do and what he couldn't do. They're testing him out all over the place. I think he played third base in college at USC. Not sure. But anyway, the E5 is going to put the leadoff man on. Sheridan will be held, but he will not try to get the lead. If he obtained the lead, it would be a 1 to 10 chance to be safe, so they're not going to risk that. So Mike Heath, kind of jack of all trades. He played, you can see on his card, all the positions he played: catcher, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left. He played everywhere except pitcher. He played every single position except pitcher. Most of them not very well, but he was, jack of all trades, as they say. So he's coming up to bat, and on the replay, he's hitting 200, 6 out of 30. No homers or run driven in. That's a 1-3 against the lefty. He's going to fly it to right field, where it is hauled in out there by Reggie Jackson. 1 away, and that will take us to Sweet Lou Whitaker, second baseman. Whitaker hitting 279, 5 homers, 17 driven in for Whitaker. 1-5. That's a ground ball first base B. So Ron Cey will throw to second for the force. It's going to go 3-6 on the fielder's choice. They not hit nearly hard enough to turn a double play, but they do get the lead dog. And now there's 2 away for Alan Trammell. Whitaker is at first. He will be held, but again, will not try to go anywhere. Will not try to get any kind of a lead or anything. So here's Trammell. Trammell on the replay hitting .404 in 47 at-bats. 4 homers and 12 driven in. It's a 4-4, and that's a catcher X. That's going to be Steinbach. He's a 3. 3 and a 15. Let's see what a 3 and a 15 does for a catcher. 3 and a 15 is going to be a foul out as long as there's no error, just the FO there. So let's see what his error rating is, the E7. So he's got to avoid 3, 15, 16, and 18. And he does. So it's a foul out to Steinbach, and that's going to end the inning. So the leadoff error does not come back to haunt them. Kurt Young pitches around it. Tigers go away empty-handed. The end of half an inning, it's Detroit nothing and Oakland coming to bat. And Frank Tanana, the left-hander, on the mound, had a really good 87 season real world, but that's not the case in the replay. He is really struggling in the replay as we get his numbers. He is 0-2 with a .470 earned run average, 23 innings pitched, 26 hits, 8 walks, 16 strikeouts. He's given up 4 home runs in 23 innings. Another one of those where the home run ball has been giving him trouble. Hello, Midlife. Hello, Dan, and hello, Joel. Good to see all of you. Yep, McGuire is at third base in this game. All right. So Tony Phillips will lead things off for the A's. Phillips can also play a lot of positions. He's playing second base in this one. And he's hitting .264, 2 homers, 9 driven in. That's a .211, and that's a pop-up to Whitaker at second base. 1 down. Yeah, I'm starting this, like I said, I'm starting this later than I would have liked. I had some stuff I had to get done, so it kind of pushed me back a little bit. And then I was trying to get into the current baseball season, so I was watching some of the Yankee-Milwaukee game, the first inning, where the Yankees hit 4 home runs off their former pitcher, Nestor Cortez. I was like, whoa. All right, here's Reggie Jackson. Jackson's hitting .207, 4 homers and 13 driven in. 2-5 for Jackson. 1's a single, and else he lines to second, so Whitaker is there to grab it. Quickly 2 away. And that brings up the designated hitter, Carney Lansford. Lansford's hitting .289, and that's exactly what he hit in the real world. So in 90 at-bats, his average is exactly what it was in real world, .289. He had 554 bats in real world. He's got 2 homers, 17 driven in. It's a .210, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. So Tanana hits Lansford. And now let's see if Lansford wants to make him pay by trying to get the lead. 2 through 5 gets him the lead. And cannot get the lead, so he will hold. And that brings up Canseco. Canseco on the replay, .274 average, 7 home runs, 17 driven in. That's a 5-9, and that's going to be a fly to center, put away out there by Chet Lemon. And nothing doing for the A's. So at the end of 1, we got no score from Oakland. Good pitching matchup, plus the Oakland ballpark is not conducive to offense, so kind of anticipating a lower scoring game, but that's, you never know what the dice are going to say. As soon as you say that, it's going to be 10-8. All right, here's Larry Herndon. Herndon on the replay hitting .290, a homer and 3 runs driven in. 6-6, and that's a line out to third. McGuire snags it. 1 down. That will bring up Terry Harper. Harper is your left fielder. He's hitting .080 on the season in 25 at-bats. No homers and 2 runs driven in. 6-8, and that's a 1-2 triple. 3-20 is a single. That's a 2. So Terry Harper had no triples on the season, so we're going to make that down. We're going to knock that down to a double. That will not be a triple. That will be a double for Terry Harper. Double for Terry Harper. So Harper with the 1-out double, and that will bring up Darnell Coles. Coles hitting .178, 2 homers, 11 driven in. 2-3, and that is a line out to short. Snagged by Gallego. 2 down, and that brings up Chet Lemon in a clutch situation. Lemon comes into this game hitting 186, no homers and 5 driven in. On the clutch against lefties, he is neutral. I don't see anything that affects that. So Young to Lemon. It's a 6-8, and that's the same thing that caused the triple last time, a 1-2 triple. That's a 19. It'll be a single 2 stars, and that will score Harper. And the Tigers take a 1-0 lead. 2 times in a row we've hit the 6-8 result, which is a bugaboo for Kurt Young. And the Tigers take a 1-0 lead. Lemon is aboard, will not try to go anywhere, will not be held. Here's Orlando Mercado, the catcher. He's hitting 176 in 17 at bats. This might be his last game because in real world he only had 22 at bats. Right now he's got 17. He's hitting 176. He at 136 real world. So if he makes a couple of outs, that could definitely get him right on his average. 1-4, and that's a fly to center field. That's going to end the inning. But the Tigers do get the run on the double by Harper, the single by Lemon. Go to the bottom of the second. It's Detroit 1, Oakland 0 from Oakland Coliseum. And that'll bring up the Penguin, Ron Say, trying to hang on in his career. Hello, Captain Carl. Good to see you. Phoenix, good to see you. Ron, good to see you. As, the chat was covered up, so I couldn't. Hello, Mr. Sports Time Racine. And I do appreciate you sending me the game of the week schedule, Mike. And I checked it out, and there are 5 teams that are not shown on the NBC game of the week. They are Toronto, Seattle, Oakland, San Diego, and Atlanta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 3 exhibition games in season ticket before the season starts. It'll be Atlanta playing San Diego. It'll be Seattle playing Oakland, and then I'm going to play Toronto against Detroit. In fact, that was opening day game was Toronto in Detroit. Mark Fidrich on the mound against the Blue Jays. So I'm going to play 3 exhibition games to get myself up to speed, and that way all teams for season ticket will be shown because all the rest of the teams are going to be shown throughout the replay. Now, it might take some of them until September to show up, but they'll be there. All right. Tanana will be facing the Penguin, Ron Say. And Say on the replay in very limited duty. He is hitting 063. He's got 16 at bats, no home runs or runs driven in. That's a 5-5, and he's going to get something here. First hit of the season. 1-4 is a triple. 5-20 is a double. That's a 4. It was leaning towards a 4, but Ron Say cannot hit a triple, so he will stay with the double. Ron Say gets a double, his first hit of the season, and that brings up Mark McGwire. McGwire hitting 237, 3 homers and 7 driven in, so he's off to a slow start on the replay. 2-7, and he will strike out. So Tanana gets a big strikeout, 1 away, and that brings up Steinbach. He's hitting 294, 2 homers, and both his RBIs came off the home runs, 2 solo homers. And that brings up Steinbach. See what he can do. 4-7. Ground ball second base X. Ron Say was not being held, obviously, so Whitaker keeps his 2E20. But Say will get to third base at a bare minimum. 9, 2 and a 9 is good play. See if he can avoid the error on the E20. E20 and a 10 should be good all day long. You don't see many 10s for errors, and there is none here. And a 9 on an E2 is a G2, but it doesn't really matter. The ball's to the right side, so Say will take third on the ground out from Steinbach, but it's 2 away. Let's give it up to Stan Javier to bring home the tying run. Javier on the replay hitting an even 200. 7 out of 35, a home run and 3 driven in. 1 chance for a wild pitch. Tanana's wild pitch rating is a 5. If he uncorks the wild pitch, Say will score. And he does. It's a wild pitch. It's going to bring home Ron Say. How do you like that? Wild pitch, and we got a tie game. .111, and that is going to be a fly to right field. It's going to end the inning. So that wild pitch directly brings home the run. And at the end of 2 complete, we're tied at 1 apiece. Top of the 3rd we go. Back to the top of the order, and Pat Sheridan. Well, Mike, I know my moniker is play the game you want to play the way you want to play it, but to me, friends just don't let friends play Strat Basic. I'm sorry. You're not going to get the lefty-righty splits, and you're going to get guys hitting home runs all over the place. So at minimum, you should be playing advanced, just for that reason alone. All right, here's Pat Sheridan. So if you want to play basic, go for it. 1-8. Oh, let's get Sheridan up here. 1-8, a strikeout. So he's late to the plate, but he strikes out when he gets there. How about that? 1 down. So here is Heath. 6-7, and that's another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks to start the 3rd inning. Brings up Lou Whitaker. 4-7, ground ball second base X, and that's going to be Phillips. He's a 4 E21. 4-19, he'll get to that. E21 is what he's got to worry about. E21 and an 11 should be okay. It is 13, 4 and 13 of the big ones to avoid, and he avoided them. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. I mean, yeah, basic is good if you're just starting out. To me, and this is just my opinion. If you're starting to learn Strat, that's how I learned it. But I quickly found out that it was wanting, and there were things missing that I just had to have, and that's why I progressed to advanced and then finally super advanced. All right, but like I said, play the game you want to play. But I still maintain friends don't let friends play APA. You want to talk about a nothing game, in my opinion, because the pitchers almost don't matter. Very little do they matter. All right, this is how many doubles can you roll, basically. All right, so that's going to bring up Gallego. He's hitting 200 on the season, 3 for 15. No homers and a run driven in. 4-12, ground ball first base C. That's going to be fielded by the first baseman Heath. He'll flip it to Tanana for out number 1. But in all seriousness, play the game you want to play. If you like APA, go for it. That's just not my cup of tea, that's all. .35, and that is a single to center field for Tony Phillips. Can Phillips get the lead? Needs a 2 or a 6 through 8. He gets the 8. He gets the lead. He's a 15, being held to 13. Minus 2 is an 11. 1 to 11, he steals it. And he's got caught stealing. So he got greedy. And Trammell laid on the tag for out number 2. So a caught stealing for Tony Phillips. He had stolen 4 bases previously, but gets caught this time. 2 outs, bases empty for Reggie. 1-9, and he's going to ground it to Whitaker. And had he not tried to steal, that would have been a ground ball double play. So I mean, sometimes you just can't win. Sometimes they're Kobayashi Marus or no-win situations. So we go to the 4th, still tied at 1 apiece. And that will send up Trammell. Trammell fouled out to Steinbach his first trip. 3-6, and it's a 1-18 single, so it's a base hit for Alan Trammell. He needs a 5 to get the lead. Does not get the lead, so he will hold. And that will send up Herndon. 6-7, and that is a strikeout. Kurt Young avoided that 6-8. It came very close to that 6-8, and that's a bad one for him. But 6-7 is good all day long. Here's Terry Harper. Harper doubled and scored his first time up. It's a 5-6, and that's a split chance. 1-3 is a single. Anything else he lines to short. So liner to short for out number 2. And that'll bring up Darnell Coles. Coles lined to short himself his first time up. 2-8, and that's a base on balls. So the walk will extend the inning, move Trammell into scoring position. Now we've got a clutch situation coming up for Chet Lemon. And against lefties, he is, again, neutral in the clutch. Last time he was in a clutch situation, his first time up, he had an RBI single. 4-7, and this time it's ground ball second base X. And the second baseman is Phillips. He's a 4. 4 and a 15 should be good enough to get there. And that's a 14. I think he's okay with that. E21. E21. There's a 13, but no 14. And a 4-15 is a G2. So it'll be a fielder's choice, 4-6 for the final out of the inning. So Kurt Young pitches out of the mess. Tigers come away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 1. And leading things off would be DH Carney Lansford. It would help to have Carney Lansford at the plate, wouldn't it? All right, 5-8, but we're off the pitcher card anyway. It's a strikeout. So Lansford could strike out without even being there. All right, there's one away, and here is Jose Canseco. 1-9 for Canseco. It's a 1 for a home run. Anything else is a double, so he will settle for a double, Will Canseco. A 1-out double, and he's in scoring position to go ahead run for Ron Say. Say struck out his first chance. I'm sorry, he doubled his first chance and scored. What am I talking about? He doubled his first chance and scored. That's a 2, chance of a balk or a pass ball. Chance of a pass ball on Mercado, he's a 3. There is no pass ball, so we'll drive on. 5-7, that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Trammell, he's a 1. 1 and a 1. 1 and a 1, but the good thing about the 1 is he gets to it. He wasn't responsible for Canseco. Second baseman was, so that's a G3. So that means Canseco will take third base. Assuming there's no error, the out will be recorded. 21, E21's got to avoid 6, 15, and 17, which he does. So any other shortstop, the 2 or higher, that ball would have gotten through, but not with Trammell as a rated 1 shortstop. Ground out, but Canseco does take third base. And it's going to be all up to Mark McGwire. Clutch situation. Run on third and 2 outs. McGwire struck out his first chance. Chance for the rookie to prove himself right here. 6-4. Catcher X. Mercado is a 4. E10. This could be like a pass ball or something. We'll wait and see. 4 and a 3. That's definitely interesting for a catcher. A 4 and a 3 is a W/G. And let's see, his air rating's an E10, so he's got to avoid 12 and 18. There is no 12 or 18, so we go to W/G. W/G with runners on base, pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. Runners advance one base. Play resumes with the same batter at the plate. So another wild pitch brings home a run. So that's the second run that Oakland has gotten. Both their runs have come on wild pitches from Frank Tanana. Go figure. His wild pitch rate's only a 5, but it's just the way these cards are coming up here. So wild pitch, McGuire's still at bat now. 2 out spaces clear. It's a 1-3, and he's going to draw a walk. That'll pass it over to Steinbach. McGuire, of course, not going to be held. 2-1 A's here, bottom of the 4th. 2 wild pitches from Frank Tanana have brought home 2 runs in separate innings. 1-8, and that's a 1-11 home run, but that's a 17. It will be a triple for Steinbach, and he had 3 triples on the season. That's one of them right there. Triple for Steinbach. And the A's lead it 3-1. So the wild pitch really wouldn't have mattered now, as it turns out, because those runs would have scored on the triple anyway. So it's 3-1 A's, and here's Javier. Another clutch situation. Javier loses a hit on 3-12 against the lefty. Everything else he's neutral. That's a 3-11, so it came very close. Fly ball left field. That's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in, and it's now 3-1 Oakland after 4 complete from the Coliseum. Kurt Young back on the mound. Now given a 3-1 lead. 3 unanswered runs from the Oakland A's since Detroit got their first run of the game. Here's Mercado. 2-6. He's going to line it to second. And Phillips will snag it. 1 down. Back to the top of the order for Pat Sheridan. 4-4. Catcher X. That's going to be Steinbach. He's a 3. But nobody's on base. 3-17 is probably a foul out, if I had to guess. 3-17 is actually a G3. So it was wrong. G3. And an E7. Got to avoid 3-15, 16, and 18. If he does, it'll be just a ground out. That's a 3. It'll be an error. How about that? We rolled a 3. He's an E7. And the E7 with the 3 is a 1-base error. So it would have been a ground out, but instead it's an E2. Boy, how often can you roll a 3 like that? But that's what came up. So what are you going to do? So the error on Steinbach puts Sheridan at first base with 1 out. And that brings up Heath. Heath is now the tying run. Sheridan will not try to get the lead. 2-5, and it's ground ball shortstop B. It's a fielder's choice, 6-4, with Heath being the new runner now. But now there are 2 away, and it's up to Whitaker. Whitaker is 0 for 2. .37, left-handed. That's a single. There's a anti-clutch, but the runner's only at first base, so the single will stand. It's a single to right field. Heath not being held makes him a 12. 2 outs makes it a 14. First to third is a 16. Right fielder Jackson's a 0. 1-16. And Jackson will just let him go there because they want to keep Whitaker at first base. He would be the tying run. So they will let Heath take third base and guard against the overthrow. All right, so runners are at the corners. 2 down for Alan Trammell in a clutch situation. Trammell loses some hits on the clutch. He's definitely anti-clutch. He's got a 3-12, 2-6, 1-8, and a 1-10 where he loses hits. So he's definitely anti-clutch, at least according to Strat. 1-8, and that's one of the anti-clutches right here. Just found it, 1-8. That is not going to be a single. It's going to be a pop-up to short, and that's going to cost him a run, maybe more. But anti-clutch, Alan Trammell. I know some people don't like to play the clutch ratings, but I pretty much play everything super advanced except for blocking the plate and robbing home runs, although I'm thinking about maybe bringing back the robbing the home runs, but I don't know if it's worth the effort, so I'll just do without them. But everything else, the cutting, the throw, the overthrows, the clutches, the weather, everything else is super advanced. All right, so Tanana will be facing Gallego. Start off the bottom of the fifth, 5-7. It's a ground ball shortstop. X Trammell's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. Just checking an error. That is a 13. E21, and I don't know if there's a 13 there or not on the E21. Nope, it's a 15, 6-15 to 17. So, good play for Alan Trammell. All right, here's Phillips. 4-7, switch hitter batting right-handed. Ground ball second base X. That's Whitaker. He's a 2. 2 and a 3 for Whitaker. Should be okay. 2 and a 3 is a G3. He is an E20, so he's got to avoid 3, 13, 18, and 17. And he does. So it's a good play for Lou Whitaker. 2X chances, 2 outs. And that will send up Reggie. Reggie is 0 for 2. He's hit it to Whitaker twice, once in the air and once on the ground. 3-8, and he's going to strike out this time. He didn't hit it anywhere. That's going to do it for Reggie and for the A's. We played 5 complete from Oakland. It is 3-1. Favor the A's. Kurt Young back out. And he'll be facing Herndon, Harper, and Coles. 3 righties against Kurt Young. Two 5, and that's going to be a 1-7 triple. That's a 2, so Herndon will triple. A leadoff triple for Larry Herndon. And now maybe the Tigers are in business. A leadoff triple. And the A's will play in. Not want to give up a cheap run. They'll take the chance of getting a plus. And they've just paid for it. 1-7 is a ground ball shortstop plus. So with them playing in, that's a base hit. Would have been a ground out with the runner scoring, but they were trying to prevent that, and they paid for it. So they got aggressively defensively, and it just didn't pay off. So 3-2 ball game now as Harper gets it through a drawn-in infield. And now that brings up Darnell Coles. One 6, and that's a strikeout. 1 away for Chet Lemon. 3-2 A's, top of the 6th. 1 out. 1 on. 2-2 is a ballpark blast. First ballpark check we've had, but they're only 5, and that's a 12. It's just a deep fly to left for Lemon. And there's 2 away for Mercado. Not in the 7th inning yet, so Mercado's got a hit. 6-4, and that's an in-home run. That's a ballpark blast again, 1-5. He has weak power, though, so it doesn't matter. It's just a fly to left anyway because it failed. But the Tigers do pick up a run. They do pick up the run, so it didn't matter if they played in or not. If they played back, it would have been a ground ball out, and the run would have scored anyway, and they would have gotten out of the inning. So it ended up being the same. Really not a whole lot of difference there. After a strikeout and 2 flyouts to left, it all worked out the same way. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Lansford. Canseco and Say do up against Tanana. This is Tanana's point of weakness inning. He does have a 6 there. So we'll keep an eye on the point of weakness chances. Lansford's been hit by a pitch and struck out. 2-10, and he's going to be hit by a pitch again. Second time that Tanana has hit Carney Lansford. And Lansford's not too happy about it. Neither is LaRussa. He's jawing at Sparky Anderson. Now the umpires are issuing a warning. Next hit batter, and that pitcher is gone. So umpires say we're not having that. Next time there's a hit batter, you reject it. Here's Canseco. 110, and that's a fly ball to center field. One away. For Ron Say. 4-2, and that's a fly ball right field. X Sheridan is a 2E9. 2 and a 3 for an outfielder. That could be interesting. Not sure he gets to this. 2 and a 3, he does not. It's a single 2 stars, and that will move Lansford to third base. So how about that? Ron Say, a couple of hits in this game. Sheridan's an E9, so he has to avoid 3, 11, 16, and 18. And he does not. That's an 11. That'll be an error. That's a 2-base error on Sheridan. So it'll be a single plus a 2-base error, and that will score the run. Say will waddle all the way to third on the E9. How do you like that? Single plus a 2-base error. Wow. So Ron Say the error on Sheridan. First error on the Tigers. That's a costly one as it moves the A's ahead 4-2. Puts Say at third with only 1 out. Infield's going to have to come in, and Mark McGwire, your batter, and a 1. Another potential wild pitch. He's already wild pitched in 2 runs. If we get a 1-5, he's going to wild pitch in his 3rd run. Did not. It's finally blocked by Mercado. Infield is in. 5-7. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Trammell. He's a 1, but with the infield runner at third, I need to know whether it's a G1 or whatever it is. 18 is going to be most likely a G1. A 1 and a 1 is a G1. Or 1 and 18 is a G1. And the error is an E21. And that's an 8, so there's no error there. But the G1 with a runner at third and the infield in, batter is out, everybody else holds. So the play is only on McGwire with the runner holding for out number 2. Had the infield been back, then obviously the run would have scored, but that would have been kind of silly to do that. So here's Steinbach. Clutch situation. He tripled his last time up. 4-6, and that is a 1-8 single. That's a 3. It's a base hit. That's going to score the run. Base hit will score the run. This run's earned. This run still has a chance to be unearned, depending on what happens the rest of the inning. It's a single for Steinbach. It doesn't really matter. It is now 5-2, and Tanana may be needing some relief. They're going to try to get him through the inning. 3-7, and he struck him out. So I believe this run is unearned. Pretty sure. So 6 innings in the book. It's 5-2 Oakland. Some shaky fielding going on by the Tigers in that inning. And now Kurt Young out, and this is his fatigue inning number 7, and he'll be facing the top of the order, Sheridan, Heath, and Whitaker, and now pinch hitting is freely allowed as much as needed. Hello, Mike. Didn't see you come in. I wasn't watching the chat there for a little bit. Sorry about that. Good to see you. Hello, Mr. Chris. Good to see you. 3-8 for Sheridan. Lefty on lefty is a strikeout. 1 away from Mike Heath. 2-7, and that's a ground ball to third. McGwire up to the task to handle it. 1 down, or 2 away rather, for Lou Whitaker. 2-6 for Whitaker is a fly to center. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kurt Young. And, wow, he has full endurance. How about that? He kept his full endurance. All right, so let's get the inning concluded in the computer. So Sheridan strikes out. Heath grounds to third. And Whitaker flies to center. So bottom of the seventh we go. Tanana hanging on, trying to stay in there because their bullpen is overtaxed. Trying to give their bullpen as much rest as possible. Here is Gallego to lead things off. 4-5, and that's a pop out to third. Darnell Coles will make the play. One down. The Seattle-Milwaukee game will be tonight, probably around 9-ish or so. Again, it's Juan Nieves against Mark Langston from the Kingdom, and that will finish off the May 2nd block of games. Here's Tony Phillips. It's a 6-4, switch hitter batting right-handed, catcher X again. Here's Mercado, he's a 4, but the bases are empty. 4-8. 4 and an 8 is a P/B, so just be a pop out if there's no error. He is an E10 though. E10 and an 8. There is no 8, so it's just a pop out. For 2 away. And that will bring up Reggie Jackson. 111 for Jackson. He flies to right field. He's got an 0 for 4 on him. And that's going to end the inning. So we go to the 8th inning. Still 5-2, favor of the Oakland A's. Now just known as the Athletics. And full endurance for Kurt Young, as he will face the heart of the order, Trammell, Herndon, and Harper for the Tigers. 2-9, and that's a ground ball to short. Gallego is there, 1 away. Kurt Young, not known maybe as one of the Oakland's better pitchers, but he's certainly pitching like it today. Here's Herndon. He did triple his last time up. 2-2 is going to ground it to short. Gallego is there again. Another ground ball out. And there are 2 down for Terry Harper. He has 2 for 3, a single and a double. 6-5, and he'll ground it to second. Phillips is there, and that's another 1-2-3 inning for Kurt Young. He keeps full endurance into the 9th. So Tanana, let's see if they want to have him pitch this inning or not. He's hit Lansford twice, so I think they're going to avoid having him face Lansford again. So I believe we're going to go to the bullpen for Nate Snell. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. I think Brian Kelly is actually going to be the one coming in. Let me double check who's the most rested of the right-handers. Kelly has pitched 8 innings. All right, actually it's going to be Snell. They're actually going to bring in Nate Snell. So Nate Snell it is. He will pitch the bottom of the 8th for Detroit. And on the replay, Nate Snell is 0-1 with no saves and 8.71 earned run average. 10 innings pitched, 15 hits, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So Nate Snell. So if we do the totals on Tanana, let's get those done before we go on to Snell. Let's get Tanana cleaned up. For Tanana, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. So Nate Snell. Snell's a -2 hold, so it'd be a -5, but I don't think that's going to be effective right now in a 5-2 game, but you never know. So in the bottom of the 8th for Oakland, it will be Carney Lansford leading it off. 4-3, that's a ballpark single check. 1-3, it's a 5, so he will line it to short. 1 away. And that'll bring up Canseco. 1 for 3 with a double. 5-3, ground ball pitcher X. He is a 3E0, so you know he's not going to make an error. Just got to check his range. 3-12, he'll get to that, so that's a good play. for Snell. So this might help his ERA if he can pitch a scoreless inning. Gets to face Ron Say, although Say is 2 for 3, but that was against the lefty. That's a 5-6, and it's a ground ball to third, and that's going to end the inning. So Nate Snell will go, well, if they tie the game, he's going to keep pitching, so I won't run him in just yet. Don't want to jinx that. So we go to the ninth inning. Kurt Young looking for the complete game. He is definitely looking for the complete game. Eckersley is tired. He's been pitched a lot, so he is not available. But I believe Jay Howell, their other closer, is. And he is available. So Jay Howell is loosening in the bullpen just in case Kurt Young starts to falter. It'll be Coles, Lemon, and a pinch hitter for Mercado. There's no way to let Mercado hit. So it'll be Coles, Lemon, and Mercado due up here in the top of the ninth. Top of the ninth we go. Coles, Lemon, and Mercado. .610 against Young. Ballpark single check 1-3. That's a 17. Fly to right field. One down, and that's going to bring up Chet Lemon. And let's see who the pinch hitter is going to be for Detroit. They only have one righty on the bench, and that's Tom Brookins. Or they could just go ahead and use Matt Noakes, the other catcher. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to bring in Matt Noakes to pinch hit. But first things first, it is Chet Lemon. It's a 6-7 against the right-hander. It's a struck him out. Two down, and now Matt Noakes will come in and pinch hit for Mercado. So Mercado is done. And Matt Noakes will be the pinch hitter for Sparky Anderson. Get the numbers on Noakes. On the replay, Mr. Noakes is hitting .209, 8 homers and 20 runs driven in 67 at-bats. So Noakes steps up against Kurt Young. Kurt Young looking for the complete game, 3-9, and he gets it. Ground ball to short. That's going to do it. Kurt Young, complete game victory, 5-2, your final. As Jay Howell can sit down in the bullpen now. It's not needed. Kurt Young finishes what he starts. And he will improve with that victory. He will improve to 3-1. Now goes to 3-1. Tanana is going to drop to 0-3 as the losing pitcher. Snell goes 1 inning and gives up nothing. So we'll get the totals for the game and wrap this one up. 5 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for Oakland. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for Detroit. Detroit left on 7. Oakland left on 3. So Young, the winner, he's now 3-1, lowers his ERA to 2.21. Tanana, loser, 0-3. His ERA jumps to 4.80. So player of the game, without question, is Kurt Young. He was 13-7 in real world. The 408 earned run average. Right now, he's 3-1 with a 2.21. So he's definitely pitching above what you would think he normally would. Oakland improves to 17-8, builds their lead a little higher in the West. Detroit drops to 10-13. So game 160 is in the books here from Oakland. Thank you, Mike. I do appreciate that. So the final game on the May 2nd docket is going to be from Seattle. And I'll play that tonight on the live stream around 8:30 to 9 o'clock, somewhere in that neighborhood. Don't know where. I don't know when, I should say. But it will be Milwaukee and Seattle. Juan 19th Nieves breakdown will be going for the Brewers, and Mark Langston will be going for the Mariners. There is one move the Mariners did make roster-wise. Donnell Nixon is out, and Dave Valley has been added to the roster. He will DH in this game. coming up. So that's a roster move that they made right there. But that's for tonight. For this afternoon, Oakland gets the complete game victory. Didn't even fill in Kurt Young like I should have. 9 innings pitched. And shoot, I've already closed the box score, so now I got to do this manually. Sometimes, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I only had him for 4 hits. Well, it says 6 hits, so where am I missing the hits? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 hits. Okay. 2 runs. And I believe both runs were earned. Yes, they were. And let's check his walks and strikeouts. He walked 1. So only walked 1. So that was, he kept the ball in play, didn't walk people. Strikeouts, he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Struck out 6. So there you go. Kurt Young, the winner. Frank Tanana, the loser. Oakland wins at 5-2. They improved to 17-8 on the season. And with that victory, the Oakland A's now will take a 3.5 game lead on the White Sox, as the White Sox are 11-9. So 1 game back in the loss column, but 3.5 back overall. Detroit drops to 10-13, and that puts them a half game behind Cleveland, 7 games behind the Yankees. Milwaukee is 16-6, so they're a half game back. If they defeat Seattle, then Milwaukee will tie the Yankees for first place in the American League East. Seattle is currently in last place in the West, so good chance for Milwaukee to get things done. Interestingly, on the replay to date, I don't think there's any way Strat there are no things for Strat to account for home field advantage, other than maybe the ballpark catering to your team. But in this replay so far, in 160 games, the home team is 81-79. So it almost doesn't matter if you're home or not. That's just the way it is. Because there's no real home field advantage in the game. The Yankees have won 7 in a row, so they are the hottest team going right now. 7 in a row for the Yankees. And let's see, the team that's got the most losses in a row is Seattle. They've lost 4 in a row. Everybody else is kind of swinging back and forth. But Yankees have won 7 in a row. They were 10-6, but now they're 17-6. So that's going to do it from here. Next game, like I said, will be tonight from Seattle, the Kingdome, Milwaukee, and Seattle. And hopefully we'll see you guys tonight after RJL finishes his game. I would say 8:30-ish, 8:45, somewhere in that neighborhood most likely would be when I would join on. Might be as late as 9. Hard to say. Depends on what's going on. I can't predict everything. But that's the situation. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.